Hello, hello, hello. G'day, g'day, g'day. It's Melissa again. Welcome to the Hive. I'm just going to clarify the energy right now. I'm just going to wave the fire elements all around the energy right now just to purify everything that we don't want to have here. We want to be welcoming the spirit guides. We want to be welcoming God. We want to be welcoming wisdom. We want to be welcoming everything that keeps us at our highest good and our peace. So, g'day, g'day. Just grabbing my cup of tea. Where's yours? Have you made yours yet? Pause the video and just go and make yours and sit down. Let's have a chat. I wanted to actually create this space because I want to create a space that enables us to just sit, talk about life, how spirit gets incorporated with life, how we can actually live a more meaningful life with spirit. And this is something that I'm very passionate about because the life that I've led and the cards that I've drawn today that I want to share with you are so indicative of that. We go out there impulsive and there's just so much that I want to share. However, grab a cup of tea and let's sit and have a chat and we can talk. So yeah, today I've drawn some very, very interesting cards. These are actually ones I drew for myself this morning, but it drew my attention to a life incident that I've frequently had lessons learnt over the time of my life that I realise now. These are lessons that sometimes you need to learn 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 times. You don't actually have to learn them that many times until you actually get the message. Unless you learn that lesson, you will keep learning it. Yeah, the 3 cards that I drew today, one is 7 of Jars, which is 7 of Cups. Then the Prince of Swords. And then the Queen of Wands. So basically that is something that is so indicative of my life, and it probably is very much indicative of yours, because we all tend to be learning how to grow up, how to grow the F up. This is something that we are, as a human race, struggling with at the moment. There's so many people out there that just don't know how to grow up and take responsibility. That, like, we go out there, and I put this down to struggling parenting. I won't say bad parenting, because we all struggle as parents. Those who've had children, those who haven't had children and have responsibility of others' children, there are so many things that we actually just struggle with. And I really think this is something that we need to sit down and talk about sometimes, and acknowledge each other's struggles and acknowledge each other's pain and inadequacies and things that we actually just don't get, and we are assumed to get, or presumed to get, should we say. Anyway, that's excuse my sons in the background, they're having a field day watching The Walking Dead. Anyway, so yes, I will actually continue this with a little bit of a story that I want to share with you, because I've created this space a little bit like what I grew up with. I was brought up a little bit like by a village. There's an old saying that says a child is raised by a village, and that basically describes my life. There was multiple women that were brought into my life because of the inability my mother was able to give to me. So I had multiple women that were spiritually brought into my life to guide me through certain seasons of my life. And I want to be able to be like that for you, because little things that crop up you just don't know about, you don't understand, you don't get, you're going through something that you can't see the forest for the trees, and there's something that's just so innately helpful by having somebody to be the shoulder to cry on, to be that soft place to fall, to be those welcome arms and that shoulder. Whatever you need is just that space to be heard. So if my little stories and my tarot card readings and my ability to sit here and just talk to you and just give you that little bit of a gentle nudge, that gentle ability to say, I'm here, I understand, I get it. That's what I want this channel to be for. Right, getting that out of the road, I'll have another sip of my tea. Today I've got my Melissa Balm, lemon balm tea and lavender, which is a lovely calming tea. And I had to get in contact with a tea that's called after me. That's the whole part of my journey when I reconnected to my actual birth name. This is why I created the hive. Melissa means honeybee. I had to connect with my true identity that is part of my journey. So here am I sharing that with you. Okay, so 7 of Jars. Have a look at this. This woman doesn't look very confident, does she? She looks like she's wanting to be a beekeeper. She's studying up on what she needs to do. She's got all the right gear. She's got everything there. She's got the candles, the honey, the books, the bee on the wall. She looks like she's got everything that she needs, but she just doesn't have the confidence. Her jumper's a bit floppy and everything's right there that, you know, she's just square peg, round hole. That's pretty much me. How I grew up. I was a square peg, a round hole. I didn't feel like I connected or fitted in anywhere. I was a floating entity. Even at school, I would sort of gravitate to different groups because I just didn't feel like I fitted in most places. It was just all a bit weird, constantly being compared, constantly being judged. Didn't fit in. So it was really quite hard growing up because I found my best ability to connect was through dancing, through singing, through art, through things that actually connected with me, so I could express myself. That was the only way I had a voice, because everything that I was doing just wasn't connecting with people. So I found that if I connected with things that connected with me, then I would find that I would actually be able to feel more complete and be able to cope with the world. So in that respect, in this card here, you may be feeling like you're a square peg round hole. You may be feeling that you don't fit in, and you may be feeling that things just, you know, you keep trying stuff that just doesn't quite fit. It just doesn't quite flow. It's like just walking through thick, wet cement. It's just constant effort, constant drag, constant everything that is just so hard to get stuff done. But it doesn't have to be. And the problem with that is that right there leads to this impulsive action. Oh my God, I cannot tell you the things that I've begun, the things that I have started, the businesses that I've started, the pyramid scheme stuff, oh my God, just to bring some sort of income in, or even just an acknowledgement that I was doing something good, that I was valid as a person, that I was valid in breathing the air on this earth. This was something that I really, really desperately wanted to achieve, but I was so ignorant and I was so impetuous and just impulsive. And I had a youthful arrogance that I could just do anything, that I was just going to get it done, you know, and I was so urgent in doing this, but I ended up by failing each and every time. And I think this is where a lot of people just find themselves, because they're finding that life is going too fast for them, so they've got to hurry up. That's the biggest lie under the sun. If anything, you need to slow down. You need to slow down to calculate the moves that you need to make the best effort that you need to make. Not running off, not running and doing, you know, stupidly ambitious things that are not going to work with when you haven't weighed up the cost. Like, oh my God, I cannot tell you. I actually haven't calculated how many businesses I've started. That would be an interesting thing to actually work out, because there's a bloody lot of them. Anyway, yes, so if you're feeling like a square peg in a round hole, this one, 7 of Jars, 7 of Cups, do not go down the path of being this impulsive guy who just cannot help to come out with all sword wielding, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get stuff done, I'm going to just achieve, I'm going to be a multi-schoollionaire, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because at the end of the day, unless you have the wisdom and the grounding, because swords is all about up here, thinking, air element, okay? This jars is emotion, all right? And when you're emotionally not fitting in, you overthink and you start doing stuff impulsively. This is not helpful. This is really not helpful, because you will end up it biting you in the ass every single time. So in my experience, what I've found is when I'm finding that anxiety and that I've got to do something, it's not something that needs to be done straight away. If you give yourself, I don't know, 3 days, just say, okay, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm going to see if I feel the same in 3 days' time. Or I'm going to see if I feel the same in 3 weeks' time. Or 3 months. But 3 is a good amount of time for you to be able to process that emotion, process that impulsivity, and be able to just sit with that emotion and see where it's coming from. Because a lot of emotion might be triggered by trauma, it might be triggered by, some sort of wound or some sort of hurt from the past that you don't have the ability to acknowledge until you sit with it. And you don't have the ability to process and heal unless you sit with it. And your body quite often traps emotions. And that's what I'm currently going through with my body. My body is suffering from traumas and trapped emotions that have been all my life. And now I'm about to shift that, and I'm about to literally go off in a completely different direction so that my body can actually heal. So when you're going through your journey and you're going through your situations that you're not feeling like anything's flowing, anything's working out for you, anything's the way you wanted it to be, take a step back. Look at your life like a chess game. Look at your life like you have the ability to take a step back and just strategize, because in that right there is your biggest win. You have that ability to take a breath, have that ability to step back, have that ability to just go, you know what? I'm going to purge all this up here onto paper. And quite often when you actually see what you've written, you get a much more clear picture, much more clarity. And I've got this little thing that I share with a lot of my coaching clients. I can't do it here, but if you write down the pros and the cons in a piece of paper, you'll see them. I mean, a lot of people do that anyway. But if you've got decisions to make and you don't know which way to go, if you write both of the decisions on a piece of paper and cut it down the middle, and you close your eyes and you hold each piece of paper in either hand, you will feel which one is heavier, right? I know it sounds ridiculous because it's a piece of paper, right? Should weigh exactly the same, but it doesn't. The weight of those words will tell you what is right for you. It's a bit like using a pendulum. It's a bit like doing a tarot card reading, and it's an energetic move that will actually clear that mind fog so you can see clearly the decisions you have to make. And when you feel what is heavy and what is good, what is heavy, what is good, what is heavy and what is not, the heavy one is not right for you. That tells you that it's harder, it's much more effort, it's a hard slog, it's going to be, years and to the point where you just can't wait that much longer. What is light, what is good, what is flowing, what is free is right for you. So once you take those pieces of paper, then, and only then, and in other words, making your own decisions and becoming the captain of your own ship, you become the Queen of Wands. You have that ignited passion in its right way, and it will work for you, right? I found after being the square peg round hole, doing silly things, right, and just going off in impulsive manners, and you you're curious, and you just jump in, feet and all, right, without thinking about the moves that you're actually making. You don't have that ability to float and to feel free. You are struggling. You are, quite often treading water to figure out the next move, but you're already in there, so you've got to figure your way out, right? But if you sit back on your throne and you let that beauty of that fire of passion burn and form the right type of flame within you, it will have structure, it will have integrity, it will have strategy, it will have a form that you are able to actually achieve in a much quicker, much more fluid, and much more satisfying way than you are able to do if you just stopped here. See what I mean? And this is where I find a lot of people just don't have the ability to be patient. We've lost our ability to patience. Remember our parents used to say patience is a virtue? What's a virtue? A virtue is something that is good, that is right, that is noble, that holds you anchored. Patience has the ability to allow you a much more stress-free ability to process, to sit back, see clearly, get clarity, and in the clarity you get wisdom because you haven't run ahead of the timing. And my spiritual mentor used to say to me all the time, don't run ahead of the anointing, don't run ahead of the timing, don't run ahead when there is a plan for you to achieve what you need to achieve. And I was watching this video the other day. It was so good. When you see this delay in things that are happening, for example, I've got these things that are coming up that are constantly getting delayed. I've got my vehicle currently unregistered because the people that have been looking after our vehicle keep mucking up and doing silly stuff, to actually prolong the repairs. And because it's getting closer to Christmas, we're getting more problems trying to get it booked in to get the parts, and trying to get them out to a country area is even harder. So this is reminiscent of having to sit back and be patient and not get your knickers in a knot, and not get flustered, and not get frustrated, not get just ticked off because you can't get your way in the time that you think is right. These things happen for a reason, because you need to be in a right place at the right time. So your spirit guides are actually delaying the process because other elements are not working out yet. So if you want to be a spiritual person and you want to have that ability to navigate your life with authority, with ease, with joy, with peace, your peace is in your patience. Your peace is in your calm. I actually saw a beautiful quote this morning that actually said, just remember, the fire department does not fight fire with fire, it uses water. So when you go in and you're faced with that, fight or flight mentality, and you're faced with that ability to either choose the right direction or go off on a tangent, just take a step back before you make that decision. Take a step back and make that authoritative Queen of Wands power, because you can make this so much better and so much more fulfilling and satisfying if you wait. Don't let that fire consume you. You use that fire and that passion and that inspiration to ignite other things in due time. Otherwise you'll set off a bushfire. You want to set off a few candles, but you don't want to set off a bushfire, because the bushfire will consume everything, and all of a sudden you'll be left with nothing. So use that fire element of inspiration and vision and everything that you want to be able to achieve, not to consume you, but you use it with authority and wisdom, right? Don't run off with that just impulsivity and that fire of and zeal, and immaturity is what it really is. Immaturity is what stops you from stopping. It actually, it says you've got to do things here and now and straight away. No, you stop that. You take a look at yourself and go, no, I don't need to make that decision straight away. I'm going to actually allow myself the space and the grace to process. I need to weigh up my own decisions. I need to weigh up my own strategies and resources and money and accessibility and time. Is it going to work for me? Is it not going to work for me? So many people are expecting an answer straight away. Well, no. If they want an answer straight away, they're not your people. They're not your tribe. They're not your partners in the right way to do things. So I hope that's helpful, and definitely take a chill pill, take a chill tea if you like, and just calm the F down while you take a breath and process what you need to actually process. Don't let it don't let yourself run ahead. Don't run ahead of the timing, because good things take time. Think of a baby who's just been conceived. Imagine if you just popped that baby out 2 months down the track. It wouldn't survive. It's the same with vision. It's the same with inspiration. It's the same with things that you want to be able to achieve. You don't need to have instantly. I think probably the one thing has been, you think of instant noodles, 2-minute noodles. They are the most lacking in nutrition food you could possibly ever have. It's just air with flavour, really. And at the end of the day, you'd be much better off having proper pasta that takes 10-15 minutes. But no, we have a microwave society that needs things instantly, and we don't get gratification unless we have things instantly. Well, that's the wrong mentality. We need to get back to, actually, I've been watching this video, hang on. I've been watching these videos of this couple in Azerbaijan that literally live off grid. Well, mostly live off grid. I think they have a fridge from memory, but they make everything from scratch. They literally plant their own vegetables. They have chickens and ducks and geese, and this amazing woman and her husband, they farm and they cook and they do everything. And you know what? All of a sudden you see these gazillion amount of followers because they are so amazingly real. Like, all of a sudden it doesn't matter if she has to wait for the fire of the wood stove to catch fire, right? It doesn't matter if she has to, you know, chop up her own meat and make her own mince. She doesn't go down the shop. She gets her husband to go and slaughter a cow or slaughter a lamb to actually be able to make the meat themselves. And so they're self-sustaining all the time. And that to me right now is total therapy. In this day and age where we are so fast-paced, we are so technologically based, and we are in this ridiculous speed of living, our bodies and our minds and our spirits can't catch up. We are totally not like at peace with ourselves. We're just trying to achieve. Well, no, we have to back. Actually, that's the other card I got this morning at my Inner Temple Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. Simplicity. Get back to simplicity. This is what we need to do today, to take a breath. Our bodies are not functioning, our minds are not functioning, our spirits are not functioning. We can't keep at this pace while we are in a rush all the time. Slow down, people. Slow down. Smell the roses. Literally, that's the rose, beautiful rose. And just enjoy our lives. Enjoy the process. Enjoy that we get 24 hours every day. So much to think about. And we need to take the time to make those decisions wisely. So let wisdom be your guide. Let wisdom show the way. And let's take responsibility by taking a breath and weighing up our choices coherently. All right, so have a lovely day. That's tea, tarot, and Dale for Tuesday. And we will have a cup of tea together next week. Have a great week and choose wisely, people. Slow down.